to Siem Reap.
Charlie 1 to India team. Charlie 1 to India team, car 12.
In Cambodia, like Mahesh, the rally also rediscovered a unique person in AJ from Chennai. Edgy and one of our cameramen not only relished each of the items but also described their taste.
These are spiders, which you find them in many places here. But there's one particular village on this highway, and it's the National Highway 6, which has got the name Spiderville because originally this type of spiders were eaten by those villagers. They do not know how it started, but probably during the Pol Pot regime and the genocide, there was shortage of food and they tried it out. Now they take the spider couples, put them inside holes in the ground where they breed. Then these spiders are harvested, put in bags and sold in the markets, and you fry them with a little bit of soy sauce and eat them raw. As you know, it has a head, thorax, abdomen. The abdomen sometimes has excrement and eggs, but that is eaten together. You need not remove the excrement because you cannot remove it. It will break up into bits. It's eaten with the excrement, with the eggs, and it tastes good.
During the regime of Pol Pot, food had become scarce. Almost everything that moved was eaten. Wildlife, therefore, in Cambodia is a rarity. The locals eat anything, from ants to water beetles, crickets, grasshoppers, frogs, bees, bugs, what have you. The rally moved towards the next destination. En route, it crossed a 1,000-year-old bridge. The Kampong Kedai Bridge in Dokampor village is nearly 250 kilometers from Phnom Penh. This wonderful piece of architecture and engineering was built in the late 12th century by King Jayavarman VII. The 80-meter long and 14-meter wide structure, made of stones, had typical imprints of Hindu gods in the form of Lord Vishnu. Village children carrying the ASEAN flag waved the rally ahead. Siem Reap was a much-deserved night halt. The 6th of December morning saw some of the rallyists rushing off to see the Angkor Wat temple. The hosts had arranged for a bus ride to the temple for all the rally participants. It definitely was worth the day. The Angkor Wat is the largest Hindu temple in the world. Built around the 9th century by King Jayavarman II, it reached its glory and pinnacle around the 12th century under Suryavarman II and Jayavarman VII. It took more than 30 years to build the temple, and time had engulfed it. Till in 1860, this lost wonder was unearthed. Legends say that this unique wonder was a result of a union of a fairy princess and an Indian Brahmin. Khmer architecture was influenced by Indian architecture and resulted in the structure that has astounded the world. The rallyists had a very unique guide in the person of Mr. Pradeep Kapoor, who was the Indian ambassador to Cambodia. The evening offered the spectacle of all spectacles. For the first time in 900 years, the Bayon temple got illuminated. Reminiscence of past glory abounded. Apsaras standing at strategic points created a splendor that is difficult to describe. The chief guests included the Deputy Prime Minister of Cambodia, the Minister of Tourism, and the Indian Ambassador.
This is a historic event. This is a historic evening. And this is a historic site. And there's so much of magic which has come together all of a sudden in this evening. The way these sites have been lit up, it is something absolutely phenomenal, absolutely mind-boggling, absolutely amazing. More than 8 to 10 centuries that something on such a grand scale is being reenacted here History is being recreated here on this very site to welcome you all the rally participants from all these countries.
The local cultural programs were also equally enthralling. On the 7th of December, after a well-deserved rest, the participants were flagged off from the Angkor complex for the next stop, Phuket, the border town of Cambodia. The rally moved in a convoy, creating a spectacle that the Cambodian had not seen earlier. The route from Angkor to Phuket had various kinds of stretches, from dust-filled roads to tarmac, which perhaps were last repaired during the World War. The rally was to go over to Thailand now for the second time. The next morning, the Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand flagged off the rally on its next leg to Surat Thani. Driving through Thailand was a pleasure, but did not provide the thrills that a rally driver is accustomed to. By the time the rallyists reached Surat Thani, it was past 8 o'clock in the evening. After crossing over to Malaysia, the roads became even better. At this stage, the ambulance had possibly done its duty well enough, and it was time for a rest. The North-South Trans-Malaysian Expressway was the longest single-day drive in the entire rally. The rally covered 890 kilometers non-stop. Many a motoring enthusiast escorted the rally and cheered it up to Putrajaya. The marshals in huge Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha and BMW motorbikes zoomed ahead, ran parallel and fell back, creating an aura of VIPs being escorted all along. Rains and the rally speed in excess of 120 kilometers per hour added some amount of thrill even into such wonderful roads. No wonder that the organizers had insisted on all rally cars keeping the hazard lights on. It was here that the eldest competitor of the rally, driving a Toyota Qualis, met with an accident. Even though his car retired, he did not. On the 10th of December, the Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia flagged off the rally from the Putrajaya Square. A dream city, it offered a marvel of modern construction and architecture. Islamic traditional domes dotted the horizon. The rallyists had already covered the special thrill sectors and were now traveling through wonderful terrains. The Putrajaya to Singapore run was just about 360 kilometers. There were stretches when rallyists were doing about 160 kilometers per hour, and the first halt was after 200 kilometers, when the rallyists got a chance to meet their nature's needs. After a farewell lunch at the Johor-Bahru border, the rallyists entered Singapore. A civic reception awaited them. The rally was virtually completed in Singapore. Except for the selected 11 lead cars, which were allowed to be ferried across to Batam in Indonesia, along all their participants. The formal finishing point awaited the rallyists at Batam. Batam is a small island, and within a very short stretch, the rallyists were flagged out and flagged in. Having created history, all the rallyists were, and still are, in very high spirits, and because tsunami had not struck the island then, they enjoyed the scenic beauty